Hey there, friends. Fritz here, and I want to tell you about the start of a series that we're doing on my live stream, where we're gonna build a productive command line tool for .NET developers, for C# developers. That's gonna help them out. And we took some first steps on my stream today. I want to summarize a little bit of what happened, and hopefully turn this into a video series so you can catch up and follow along with the development of our project. So this was interesting. We started off with a little bit of a project here where we went through and we actually started with talking to Copilot and talking through this idea of wanting to build a command line tool to help .NET developers to be more productive. And let me show you what we got here. So I started with this prompt. I'm a .NET developer specializing in C# and web development, and I want to build some tools to make it easier for .NET developers to be able to use the command line to work productively. And we went through this prompt and came up with a couple of ideas. And as we scroll through this, and you can go back to the original and see what we talked about, and we came up with this idea of Doctor.net. This idea of building a bill of materials and some counseling, some coaching on your application and what you can do to improve it. So we went through, we took a look at this, and there's a lot here that doesn't really get used, might get used. I copied it out and I put it into the repository for this project that we're calling CodeMedic. You can find a link to it in the description just below. And we started writing some code, and we went over to Visual Studio Code, and we started generating some documentation. Some ideas around what a command line interface architecture and extension would look like, what plugins would look like for that. And we started thinking about this idea of a repository health dashboard. And we put together a document that describes what that might be, something we can run at the command line and give us this dashboard of repository health. And even a bill of materials, right? Tell me a little bit about what goes into this project, the things that are in this repository, what vendors, what open source packages are we referencing, what tools do we need to be aware of, and version and keep up with. So we put together some ideas, and you can find them, once again, in the repository. You can see there's a doc folder here that has a handful of documents that you are welcome to browse and read and catch up on. But we started building some source code to go with this. And we had this idea of building out and defining a series of renderers. And a renderer is going to define how we take a tool that's running at the command line and render its output. How do we deliver that? Is it ASCII content at the command line? Is it JSON content that can be consumed by another tool? Or is it Markdown that can be published somewhere? And we started exploring what this is as we built our first command line tool that would just look at what are the projects that we currently have in this folder and in these child folders. Let's take a look at them and just get some basic data about them. So we wrote that up and got a little help from Copilot. And when I run it at the command line for the CodeMedic project, I get output that looks like this. Now we're starting to get a little bit interesting, right? There's 2 projects in my folder, 3 total NuGet packages referenced, and these projects are configured with nullable checking, implicit using capabilities. Only one of them is going to generate documentation. And you can see this project summary here, and then there's details about the 2 projects. Our abstractions project, and that's a class library. Right now it's reporting that it's an unknown output type. That might be a bug we should fix in an upcoming stream. And here's the command line, and you see it's referencing NerdBank git versioning so that we can start version numbers and managing them as we build releases here. Of course, system command line, inspector console, so we can get this cool layout and formatting right here at the command line. And of course, because we're using .NET 10, we're getting great formatting, syntax coloring at the command line. This is PowerShell on Windows, but it's going to work the same way when I'm on Bash or Z Shell on Mac or Linux. So we've got this nice start for CodeMedic to start analyzing projects. And we're going to get in a little bit further on exploring those NuGet packages, finding our dependencies, driving out a little bit more information about those projects so that we can start to explore and start to really check the health of our project and grow this and see what other information we can surface that would be valuable for developers, and then provide some coaching. Hey, you know what you could really use to centralize your NuGet packages? Maybe you should use central package management because things are slightly out of line here. Hey, there's updated versions to those packages that you should update to, or there's security warnings for some of the packages you're using. Here's a quick step to update those packages. Things like this are on the agenda and in play to upgrade this tool set. So this is a series of tools that we're going to slowly build over the month of December 2025 and see where it gets to. There's a lot of options and opportunity here. It's right at the beginning from the initial ideas here as we go through and start exploring and building tools that are going to help us and recommend things that make us better developers. So I hope you tune in to my upcoming streams. Check out the rest of the videos that are here on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to start building out a playlist here, updating you with how progress evolves on this project as we build CodeMedic. All right? I hope you tune into the live streams or keep an eye on the playlist right here on YouTube. Make sure you click that subscription button, click that bell so you can be notified as we progress through this project and you can learn more as we're building CodeMedic.